Hello, this is Craig, and welcome to another episode of Cruising Off Duty. This episode is going to be a follow-on episode to my last one about the Litchi app and its glitchiness. You may be wondering why I'm showing you my sailing intro from the summer, and no, I'm not in the BVI sailing around. I just needed some time to do this voiceover, so I thought, why not put it back? It's so pretty. Okay, after that last episode, I found out there's a Litchi app update, so I thought maybe that would solve this autofocus problem I had, plus all the other glitchiness. But as you'll see in this video, no, not so much. But I have found some workarounds. Hi, this is Craig and I'm back. So here's the plan. I'm going to take off from just outside my house. I'm going to do a little loop in the neighborhood. And let's just see if this time the Litchi app does a better job of keeping the camera in focus. You've probably already seen the footage from the Canadian Tire Center where for some reason it just wouldn't stay in focus. Hit the tap to focus button on the back, the C1, and in focus for about 1 second, then it goes out of focus. When I got home, needless to say, you probably could see it on my face, I was disappointed with the results. I had flown with the Litchi app before when I first got the app, and it worked fine, so I was perplexed as to what was going on. So I got home and found out that there was an update to the app, and I'm thinking what happened is the firmware updated on the Mavic, and there was a Litchi app that came out soon after that was to make them jive, and I didn't have the latest update on the Litchi app. So I'm going to fly it now, and if it works, I'm going to show you how you can go back to an old saved route and fly it again without having to reprogram it. So let's see how it goes. Okay, let's get her up and going. Okay, what you're going to see right away when I switch to the other camera is that it's out of focus, and you might be wondering why didn't I hit tap to focus right away? Well, you don't need to in this app. According to it, you have a point of interest at each waypoint where the camera is supposed to point at and focus on. Over and let you see this. It's now up and it's going off towards waypoint 1, then it's turning. It's facing the new point of interest. It's windy, by the way. Mavic's doing fine so far. Now it's gotten to waypoint 1, now it's heading to waypoint 2. Oh, let me just go back in here, make sure I've got the autofocus set. Now again, does it look blurry? I think it does. Of course it's really blurry, but it's sometimes hard to see that on a small iPhone screen, especially in the sun. So I hit the C1 button again, it goes into focus for a second and then back out of focus, just like last time. So obviously the new Litchi app update did not solve the autofocus problem. And just to clarify again, I shouldn't have to hit the C1 button at all according to this app. You have a point of interest that you're pointing at that it's supposed to be focusing on at each waypoint. It's hard to tell on the screen, the little phone screen, but it looks blurry again. Now it's going to the right waypoints, and it's focusing at the right spots for point of interest, but I got a funny feeling it is not clear. So if that's the case, then it's not due to the app not being the latest version. It's definitely something to do with when it flies a waypoint mission. At least that's what I assumed at the time, but that's not correct. Further flights have proven to me that you can have this out of focus problem when you're flying manually as well. But here's a new glaring glitch that you really need to notice. I had set up a waypoint plan that was a square box, and it was all supposed to be at the same speed. You can see as it got to this waypoint, it went to a crawl and barely moved at all. I thought it was frozen, and then it starts moving very slowly in the wrong direction. Not even slightly towards the next waypoint. That is a really spooky glitch because the Mavic only has front-facing sensors. So if this drone just decides to go off on a tangent sideways, it's not going to know it's going to hit something like a tree until it's already hit it. And to make everything even stranger, this is just unexplainable. So now it's just sort of hovering, slowly moving in the wrong direction, and I hit tap to focus, and all of a sudden now it stays in focus. Okay, maybe I can't explain this. There. Now it's starting to come back. It's going real slow and from 0.3 to 0.4. I must have set the speed slow. No, I did not. Now it's starting to speed up a bit, 4 miles per hour. 5 miles per hour. Okay, right about now it starts acting really weird. So it speeds up and now it starts to veer off course, and then it slows to a crawl again, and eventually I figure out on my screen it's not even going towards the next waypoint, so I cancel it and hit return to home. I guess things are in focus now. The little red peaking is showing, so Maybe it is working. Slowly turning around.
The next waypoint is actually just off to the left of the screen. I'll put a pointer on it just so you know where it should be heading. Not only is it not heading there, but it seems to be just deciding randomly how fast or slow it's going. It goes to almost a dead stop, and then it speeds up a little bit, and then it stops again. It's like it's got a mind of its own.
Now it's got to be able to go faster than that. It's only going 3 miles per hour.
I'm so focused on why is this thing flying so slow that I don't even really realize it's not heading to the waypoint until, well, soon.
Really, really slow. I don't remember setting it to be that slow. And it's way off course.
Now, it's not dangerously off course, or I probably would have noticed it earlier, but it just doesn't seem like it's even trying to go to the next waypoint. So I have to hit return to home. Mavic was flying fine, and when I hit return to home, it came back instantly and at a good speed. So I know the Mavic is acting fine, so it's definitely a software glitch.
Mission ended.
Return to home. Yeah, that went way over here in the middle.
When I get back to home before I land, I decide to make it do the route one more time in an attempt to see if it'll do it. At least now it's in focus.
So I'm going to cancel landing, and I'm going to tell it to play that thing one more time. So it's flying to point 1, which is actually not too far from me. Now it's heading to point 2.
And again, it seems a little out of focus.
Let's watch it this time. Going to point 2 at 12 miles per hour. That's reasonable. That's heading to point 3.
And again, on the way to point 3, halfway through, it just decides to slow to a crawl. So I give up and decide to hit return to home again.
Okay, close. Return to home. I'll have to see if the footage was at least focused.
No, it was not.
But I can't risk flying any further with my iPhone saying it's already dying. Hasn't even gone halfway through a battery, and my iPhone is saying it's dying. The Mavic should land right there. Landing exactly where I took off from, on the asphalt in between the snow. As you can see, I've put the extended landed gear on. That's helpful. Nice job. That was awesome. So it did an excellent job.
Recording stopped.
And it starts the recording and ends the recording on its own on the Litchi App. So I'll have to see the footage to see if it's clear. But definitely there's an issue. Obviously the iPhone, mentioned it numerous times, does not handle the cold. It gave me a warning probably halfway through that battery that it was about to die. The Litchi App still had some issues too, because it sort of looked like it went off course there. So I don't know what that's about. I'll have to check the footage and we'll see what happens.
Okay, I'm someone that doesn't like to give up. So I recharge my iPhone, get another Mavic battery, and try another flight. Needless to say, no better improvement. So I'm not going to waste your time with that one.
Maybe like the 4th time's the charm.
Okay, this time I tried something new. I actually pointed the gimbal up while it was sitting on the ground and pointed at the house further down the street and got it in focus before I took off. It seems like that's the trick. If you take off and it's out of focus, there's nothing you can do to get it to stay in focus. But if you get it to focus on something far away before you take off, you seem to be
Screen
fine.
recording started.
Okay, so let's see if this time it works. It looks like things are focused.
As you can see in the wind, there's a pretty severe jello effect. Part of the problem is in the bright sun with the white snow, there's just too much light getting into the camera. Even with the ISO turned to the lowest setting, which is 100, to lower the light, the camera compensates by making each of the 30 frames a very short exposure. I have ND filters on the way that should help.
The little red on the roofs there implies it's working.
You don't see it on the footage, but on the screen, anything that's in focused is outlined in red.
It says now we're going to point 3. So far so good. The roofs look red. This is the part that's weird about it. Is it slows down at point 3 a lot. Doing 2 miles an hour. I don't know what's causing that. We're going towards 4.4, but we're not going very fast. 5 miles per hour, 6 miles per hour. So we're going on our way to waypoint 4. So far everything still looks red, which I assume means it's in focus. We're coming back and we're doing 12 miles per hour to 0.5. Now down to 9, 7, 8. And by default I had it set to mission ended, return to home. For some reason I can't get it to stop recording though. Still recording even though I'm pressing the little don't record button. Don't record. Okay, maybe I need to go stop recording screen. Now try and...
Screen recording stopped.
But I still can't get the drone to stop recording. Huh. So Litchi's got some issues. Still cannot get the recording to stop. So I'm gonna have to power it down. Okay, I'm back in the Canadian Tire parking lot again with my Mavic again. Trying to use the trying to use the Litchi app again. So the Litchi app is glitchy. Litchi is glitchy. So I went home, I flew a couple more times around my neighborhood with the Litchi app. Same thing, out of focus. And then the last time I got it to focus. And I only did one thing different, and that's when I was on the ground, I tilted the gimbal up, and then I hit the center focus, and it's focused on something far away. And then when I flew, for some reason it stayed in focus. So who knows what the reason for that is, but I'm going to try it again at the Canadian Tire Center. The great thing about the Litchi app is I've already got the waypoints from my previous flight already preset, so I don't need to do that. And let's see how it goes. Again, Litchi is having an issue. I say start mission and nothing happens. It just sits there with this white box. Oh my goodness, this Litchi app drives me nuts. We're moving. Oh, it's over there already. Now it's going around. Seems to be recording. Things seem to be clear. Seems to be doing a nice pan of the building. So far, so good. Now the problem is I have ISO at 100, which is the lowest possible ISO. But because I don't have the ND filters yet, which I am getting, and I will review them because that's the way to do it, it's shooting at 1/1250. So it means it's shooting really high or very short frames, which is often causing the shuttering of it.
Mission ended.
Mission ended. What? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Warning, disconnected.
What? It said mission ended, but it's still flying around the building, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I can see the drone over there. So it's coming. I think it said mission ended because it was disconnected, but so it's only going 9 miles per hour. I don't know how we can change that. Now, for some reason, it's only flying 2 miles per hour in this stage. 5, 6. I don't know why it does that. It slows right down to a crawl. Try and stop the camera. See the little box saying stop recording? You can't stop the recording. No matter how many times you press it, you cannot stop the recording. So that's a glitch. Seriously glitch. It's every time it's happened to me. You're done your flight and you can't stop it. And the drone's not running, so now what I got to do is I got to go out and press power off on the drone and have it stop the recording that way.
Okay. Every time I take this thing out on a mission, I find new glitches that I didn't find before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the next attempt at this mission to 4 times the regular speed. But while I'm going around this, I want to show you a new glitch that's going to come up. See, I've sort of figured out how to get the focus to work. You have to set it to infinity focus when you're still on the ground before you start flying. But it just seems like this thing has a mind of its own. It speeds up and slows down whenever it feels like it. As you saw around my neighborhood, sometimes it even veers off course. And now watch this one. Just as it's getting around the back of the Canadian Tire Center, it sort of just decides all of a sudden that its gimbal should point straight down at the ground for the rest of the mission. Kinda silly. So that's pretty much the end of this app, for me anyway, till they fix it. Because yes, I found a workaround for the autofocus by setting it to infinity focus, but that doesn't mean that the app is actually doing what it's supposed to do, which is point at things and change its focus based on its distance. There's just way too many glitches, so I won't use the Litchi app again until they come out with a fix for all these bugs, and I'll just keep using the DJI apps that come for free. And I suggest you do the same. Well, that's it for this episode. If you liked it, please click like. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe for more Mavic tutorials, and I'll catch you on the next one.